Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to my deep guide and to another edition of Q&A. So let's roll the questions that you guys asked and some of the comments and opinions. I'm wondering if Remarkable will release an RM3 with a higher res display, newer CPU, more storage, etc. The PP and the PP Move is cool, but I don't need color. Well, yeah, I think that a lot of people are definitely expecting that. And a lot of people have been expecting that instead of the Remarkable Paper Pro Move for this year, but instead we got the Paper Pro Move. Whether or not that was like a prudent move on Remarkable side, not really sure. Simply because Remarkable Paper Pro Move is such a specialist device that caters to one thing and one thing only, and it caters to it really well. If that's what you were looking for, then it's like you're gonna be really happy and it's gonna work. But the fact remains that Remarkable 2 is the one that placed Remarkable as a company on the map. Remarkable 1 kind of established it and built it up, but Remarkable 2 was the one that kind of made it a big boom. And they sold like apparently over 1 million units of Remarkable 2. So to allow for more, at this point, more than 5 years to pass without refreshing and updating the Remarkable 2 line or the core line of the devices. Yeah, it's a twofold thing. First of all, it's a testament to the Remarkable 2, how good it is, that it's still selling and people are apparently still buying, and that it's still supported. So all of those things are a testament to the product and to the company and the product support. On the other hand, all of the aspects of the Remarkable 2 are now very dated. And 300 ppi on a 10.3 inch has now become a standard. Remarkable 3, monochromatic, no front light, 300 ppi, much more improved contrast than what we have right now on Remarkable 2. I don't see how they can fail, if you get my meaning. Like that's such a no-brainer. And you already have like a huge amount of people who would jump to that product immediately, especially if it was made so that it's lightweight, that it's more durable, that it's more flexible, less rigid and fragile as Remarkable 2 was, to make it even more accessible and more usable for the users. Well, that would be a complete no-brainer. Whether or not they're actually gonna go that way, I don't know. They've invested a lot of money into the new digital pen, the stack with the front light, which is really thin, on the Paper Pro and the Paper Pro Move, and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I certainly hope that they will release a Remarkable 3 type of a device soon enough, because that lineup of devices is definitely ready for a nice refresh. Does your My Daily Organizer work with Remarkable Paper Pro Move? Technically, yes, it does function perfectly normally like any other PDF would work, and hyperlinks will work, but where the problem arises is in the actual format of the Remarkable Paper Pro. So the problem will be like the one that you have with every other document, and that is the inability to kind of scale in a way to match, and then you will have paired empty sections of the screen with really small fonts, which is unavoidable because it's a really small format. So what can you do to kind of remedy this? Well, there's only one thing that you can, or two things that you can do to remedy this. First one is to go to the settings and adjust view and go fit to custom view, and then just pinch and zoom until you fit the width as much as possible, because this device and the reader will not actually fit the width properly. It's reading some other things that doesn't make it that well. So what you can do is you can actually make it much wider, and then it fills in a lot more of the screen, and you basically just lose only this lower portion here if you have your toolbar enabled. The number two thing that you can do is flip it to landscape view, and then again go into the adjust view, and then we go fit to width, And then you are going to have a lot more and a much more normal overview of the whole document, which is a lot usable. But then you do get to encounter the issue that you have to use the sliding thing, which coupled with the refresh rate and the methodology of the gallery tree screen is not really the best thing there. So if this device and if this platform had the functionality that you could just kind of do the next page gesture and it automatically slides the page down for you, that would have been a much better functionality for any kind of document, MDO included. So from the purely functionality standpoint, will it work? Yes, it will. But will it encounter potential difficulties like any other document, PDF document will encounter on this device? Yeah, it will, but they are not unsurmountable. So custom view or landscape view will get you there. As for the question of whether I'm gonna make a dedicated version just for Paper Pro Move or not, I've mulled that a lot in my head, and I actually did some mock designs, and then I saw that this format simply doesn't work. Because even if I did move things around, it's still going to be too small because the device is simply too narrow. So for the portrait format, it won't work. And the second part of it is that that custom version of MDO would only be applicable and work properly on this device and no other device at all, which means that if you, as a Remarkable, let's say 2 or Paper Pro and a Paper Pro Move owner, you won't be able to have a smooth experience between your bigger device, and let's face it, this is where you're going to be making most of your organizing and planning kind of needs, and Paper Pro Move, which is to be on the move. So the current version stays. Yes, it can be used with some compromises, but this type of workflow allows you to have absolutely seamless integration and usability of the same document between multiple devices, including the Paper Pro Move. What do people expect exactly with the Move as an e-reader? I read a lot on the Paper Pro, and now I read on my Move. I use the Move for novels and the Pro for sheet music and textbooks. I personally find it great. I buy my books, remove DRM with Calibre, and if necessary, generate a PDF to scale for the screen. Then I send the EPUB PDF over to the device. I love reading on these things because there's nothing to it. Well, it's not really nothing to it. You gotta de-DRM it, which is like a grayscale legal-ish kind of thing. Then you have to reformat the PDF for the exact format for this device, and then you gotta convert it into the format that it works and then transfer it to the device. That's not nothing to it. I write in the book like I used it write in real books with sticky notes. This simplicity speaks to me personally as someone with major decisions paralysis based on neurodivergent traits. When I tried using co-reader and Android e-ink devices, I would spend hours formatting and setting up fonts, settings and plugins, and it was madness. I really wish Remarkable would sort out the DRM issue, but otherwise I love it. It's not for everyone, but it is for me. Well, basically it's like a long comment and a little bit of a kind of describing of what your use case scenario is, but to address your initial question, which is what do people exactly expect with the Move as an e-reader? Well, what they expect, or what is expected, is that it functions out of the box normally. What does that mean? Well, that means that the EPUBs will be able to take up full portion of the screen, and that the reformative of EPUBs, regardless of the length of the EPUB, will have normal performance like it does have on devices that are like a 10-year-old device and platform than this one, will outpace any Remarkable device when we're talking about changing the format of an EPUB, for example. The second part is the compromised PDF reading functionalities because of the format as well. And that is remedied by two standard things. Number one is in the landscape format, the flip to next or previous page gesture should function by sliding the visibility of the page all the way down to the bottom or the top of the page, depending on what your gesture is, and then flip over to the next or previous page. Therefore, you won't be forced to interact and do the sliding and all of these kinds of things, which is a gigantic distraction on a device like this. Instead, you would be able to just simply use it. The second part for PDF Reader is the ability to basically reformat the PDF document, strip it from things that you don't want or things that you want, and basically OCR it, rearrange it for the screen format that you have on your device. This is a standard type of functionality that you do have and you have had on many platforms and many devices, again, for years, but it's not present here. And in the case of the Paper Pro Move, because of this format, which doesn't lend itself naturally to a regular type of a paper format, those two functionalities are not just like a nice to have, they are a must to have for this device to function as an easy to use e-reader. Because you're not supposed to be thinking about the reformatting and all of that kind of stuff. You're not supposed to be thinking about, have I slid the page enough or not? No. You're supposed to take this device that you paid a ton of money for and be able to flip the page, and the platform offers you the optimal user experience so that it's everything else is out of the way and you are presented with the best possible option for you to consume the content that is on this device. This device and this platform doesn't do that. That's what is expected from it. What does the writing feel like compared to the Remarkable 2 between the Remarkable Paper Pro Move? To put it simply, it's harder, it's a little bit more slippery, but it does also have a little bit more tactile feel than the Remarkable 2 does. I'm not a full-on fan of the Remarkable 2 feel because it's a little bit too hard. My preference from Remarkable devices is Remarkable 1. I think that would be the absolute best writing feel. And then close second would be for me either of the Paper Pro devices or the Remarkable 2, with a caveat that the Paper Pro devices do have that initial kind of hardness and clickety-clack that, depending on your writing style and your habits, may irritate you, or it may be something that you don't even notice, or it may be something that you get used to easily, or you adapt your writing style so that the initial pressure is not as hard, and then you minimize that initial clacking. If you're able to actually do that, the very sliding kind of feel for me personally is nicer and feels more engaging than on the Remarkable 2, where no matter what I do, I feel the glassiness of it somehow. That's not really the case on the Paper Pro and the Paper Pro Move. This is in regards to the Boox Note Max. Thanks for this awesome video. Thank you for watching. I'm thinking about buying this and Go 7 as a companion device. Can you talk about whether you think this would be a productive pairing? I'd love to have the Go 7 to take with me everywhere I go to be primarily a reading device, but also for quick notes, and reserve the Max for more detailed planning sessions, meetings, and more. Would love to know what you think about this approach. In theory, that would work, but you have to be absolutely aware of the abysmal writing experience and performance of any of the Go 7 devices because of that horrific active pen. There is a workaround that kind of improves it a little bit, and I'll make a video on that as well. But it doesn't really solve the issue because the pen itself, the physical aspects of the pen are bad. And unfortunately, Go 7 uses an active pen, so you can't really find an easy replacement that will just work, which is not the case with the Note Max, which uses passive EMR pen, so you can use any pen that you want. So yeah, as that kind of thing, I don't think that that's a good pairing. I would much more recommend something a little bit different. And that is that you get the Note Max as your main kind of driver thing. And for the portable one, well, at this point, you can only look for secondhand older devices from Boox. And there are two that I would recommend. Number one that I would recommend is the Boox Nova Air 1. So the gray one, the old one, the first one. That one was excellent. So if you can find it, and if you can find it at a good price and in good condition, especially with the battery being in good condition, then you will have something that's really, really good, dated, but good. The other alternative, which is also kind of on a portable side, but a bit more expensive and a bit more bulky and a bit more weighty, is the Tab Mini C, I think it's called. So the 7.8-inch Tab X kind of variant. That one's color screen, front lit, has a massive battery and all that kind of stuff. I don't personally like that device, but that's my own personal preference. It is a good device. It has really a lot of capabilities, a lot of functionalities, and it would double itself as a good contrast pairing because it would offer you front light and color content as opposed to what you have on the Note Max, which is something that you might need for a portable device because you don't know what kind of environments you're going to find yourself in. Nova Air 1 also has a front light, but it is black and white. My personal preference is Nova Air 1. I even today regret the decision to have sold it because I expected that the successors are going to be better, but they were not. Nova Air 2 was much worse, and then came the Tab Mini C, which is completely a departure from what I'm looking for from a device like this. So for me, yeah, the last good one, 7.8-inch from Boox, was the Nova Air 1. And that might suit your needs in this kind of scenario as well. Go 7 works for reading purposes, but as soon as you need to do any kind of writing, it's going to be a serious limitation to the borders of unusability. Any plans to review the new Mont Blanc device? It seems to come out of nowhere. Well, actually, yes. I was looking for a way to contact them, but they are making it kind of impossible. I noticed that they have like a 30-day open shop return thing, and since it's like a really big investment, I needed something like that for me to be able to kind of pull the trigger and purchase it and test it and see it. Is this device that I'm gonna maybe potentially keep for myself and use it, and at the same time bring you guys a review, or not? And yeah, that 30-day guarantee thing just allows it for me to be able to do something like that normally. So yeah, it is coming to my deep guide. This is in regards to the Dasung Paperlike 13K monitor. Can I use a Boox device mirroring image with the computer, and what is the best app to do it? I apologize for the noise, there's some road works going on down the street. You can always use the screen casting functionality of any Boox device to cast your screen onto a computer, and then if that computer is using a Dasung monitor, then via the extension through the computer, you can actually use this monitor as that. However, you can only mirror an image on an Android platform. You cannot extend an image, so you can't have like 2 monitors or anything like that. So that is a limitation of Android. We're patiently waiting for that to be fixed, but no such luck yet. Writing feel and non-black and white is why I'm still on the Remarkable One, hoping for a Remarkable One like Move device next year. Well, Move device, or more like an 8-inch device with a traditional 4.3 format, because having seen what this format does for the Remarkable platform as an e-reader as well, I would be less inclined to see a Remarkable One portable version of this. I would be more inclined to see a lighter, non-metal one, plastic one, IP certified, monochromatic with a thin front light stack layer if you must. I most likely would like it without a front light, but I know a lot of people like the front light thing. So I would much rather see something like that that's a lot cheaper in a 4.3 format as well, so that it can double as an effective e-reader and document processing kind of a device, as well as note-taking. Because this, as awesome as it is for note-taking, and it is for most type of note-taking scenarios, yeah, it's not really good for anything else. Do you know if Boox have a new small version of a note-taking device like the Mini Tab C coming out soon? No, I do not. I don't have any information, and October is now upon us, and depending on when this video actually comes out, maybe we will have received some news from Boox. They usually keep things tight undercover, and it certainly is overdue because they haven't refreshed the 7.8-inch format of their lineup of devices for a really long time. and it would be nice to actually get something like that. I certainly hope that the foray into the Go 7 series with that god-awful pen that it has, so you got like 3 new devices, all 3 are basically unusable as portable note-taking devices because of that absurd decision to ruin it with the USI Active Pen, which doesn't really work. I hope that that was not it, that's like, yeah, well, you got a portable device, because you really don't. You need a proper note-taking device like the Nova Air series was, and it's about time to kind of bring that back and refresh it and make it good, so that it kind of fills in this gap, because that's a really good format and a really good device, especially if executed properly. So yeah, hopefully they will. We'll see. This is regarding the iFlyTek AINote Air 2. Awesome first look review. Is the detailed review out? No, it's not out yet, and it's been like a huge wait between this. I simply didn't have time to actually focus on that one yet, but I do want to get back to it. I wanted to give the platform and the whole thing a little bit more time to kind of mature, get more updates and all that kind of stuff, and then give it like a proper look and proper use, because it's exactly like what I've talked about in one of the previous questions. It fills in that niche of a need of a portable device that's actually powerful and can do things really well. And this is a device that can do that if certain things are fixed, because it does have a lot of potential. So I'm going to do a revisitation of iFlyTek AINote 2 soon-ish, and then bring you an in-depth review and a long-term kind of look at the device itself, because I think it's an important one. All right, so those are the questions for today's edition of Q&A. I hope that you'll find them informative and or useful. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel, because it does help the visibility of the channel. And do comment down below what are your other questions that you may have, so that I can hopefully address them in future editions of Q&A. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye.